Hey everyone, from all of us here at Riseson Insurance, thanks for tuning in. Have you ever looked at your car insurance policy and just wondered what it all really means? Well, today we're going to cut through all that confusing jargon. We're going to use some real-life Arizona situations to show you exactly how your coverage works when you need it most, right here in our own backyard. So let's be real, driving here in Arizona is unique, right? I mean, you've got monsoon season suddenly hitting, you're trying to navigate the Loop 101 during rush hour, or you're just hoping nobody dings your car in a packed parking lot. A generic policy you buy online, it just doesn't get that. Your policy needs to be ready for our reality. So, let's dive into the absolute foundation of any good car insurance policy. Okay, first up is the big one, the absolute bedrock of your policy, liability coverage. Now, this part isn't for your car. It's all about your financial responsibility to other people if you're the one who causes an accident. It's a really crucial piece of the puzzle.
So liability actually breaks down into two main parts. Let's talk about the first one, bodily injury, or BI for short. If you're at fault in a crash and, heaven forbid, someone in the other car gets hurt, this is the coverage that steps in. It's designed to help pay for their medical bills, cover any wages they lose from not being able to work, and, get this, it even helps with legal fees if they decide to sue.
Let's put that into a real-world scenario. Picture this. You're driving through a busy intersection right here in Phoenix. Maybe you get distracted for just a split second, and you run a red light. Bam! The crash injures the other driver and their passenger. Your bodily injury liability? That's what stands between you and some potentially devastating medical and legal bills. And trust me, those costs can add up faster than you can imagine. This is exactly why picking the right limits to protect your assets is so important. All right, the second piece of the liability puzzle is property damage. And this one's a lot more straightforward. It does exactly what it sounds like. It pays to repair or replace someone else's property that you damage with your car. Most of the time, yeah, that's going to be their vehicle. But it could be anything, really. A fence, a storefront, a mailbox, you name it. Okay. Let's imagine you're in a Tempe neighborhood, just backing out of your driveway. You misjudge the space a little, and crunch, you hit your neighbor's parked car and a city lamppost. Whoops! Well, your property damage coverage is what would handle the repairs for both. And believe me, with the cost of car repairs and parts these days, having the right limit on this coverage is absolutely vital. Okay, so that's all about covering your responsibility to other people. But what about you? What about your car? Let's switch gears now and talk about the coverages that protect your own vehicle and your own well-being. This is what a lot of people call physical damage coverage. First up in this category is collision coverage. Super important. Whether you hit another car, a guardrail, a curb, whatever, this is the coverage that pays to fix your vehicle, minus your deductible, of course. And here's the key part. It applies no matter who's at fault. So it's there to protect your investment in your car, period. So let's say you're driving up near Scottsdale, maybe on the 101, and you have to swerve to avoid some debris on the road. You end up hitting a guardrail. Ouch. Now, even though there wasn't another car involved, your collision coverage is what's going to kick in to handle those repairs. It's also worth noting that if you have a loan or a lease on your car, the lender is almost certainly going to require you to have this. All right, next up we have comprehensive coverage. You might sometimes hear this called other than collision. And that's a pretty good way to think about it. This is for all the weird stuff that can happen to your car that isn't a crash. We're talking theft, vandalism, fire, hitting an animal, all that jazz. And for us here in Arizona, this one is huge. Here's the classic example, right? A monsoon blows into Phoenix out of nowhere. Your car is parked outside, and a sudden hailstorm leaves you with a cracked windshield and a roof that looks like a golf ball. Yep, that's not a collision, that's a comprehensive claim. Given our wild weather, this is a really important coverage to think about. Okay, listen up, because this next one is a huge deal here in Arizona. It's called uninsured and underinsured motorist coverage, or UM/UIM. This is what protects you if the person who hits you and is at fault either has zero insurance or has the bare minimum, which isn't enough to cover your medical bills. It's there to fill a really scary gap. Just think about a hit-and-run scenario. You're driving through Tempe, somebody blows through a stop sign, smashes into you, and then just floors it. They're gone. You're left injured, your car's a mess, and you have no one to file a claim against. In Matt's situation, your uninsured motorist coverage is basically your lifeline. It's your protection against someone else's complete irresponsibility. Next, let's talk about medical payments, or MedPay. This one's pretty simple, but really useful. It's designed to give you quick, immediate coverage for medical expenses for you and anyone in your car after an accident. And the best part? It pays out no matter who was at fault, so you don't have to wait around for some long investigation to finish just to see a doctor. Here's a super common example. You're in a little fender bender in a Phoenix parking lot. Nothing major, but your passenger says their neck is starting to feel sore. MedPay can immediately cover their copay to go get checked out by a doctor. It's usually a pretty inexpensive coverage, but it provides a ton of peace of mind.
Okay, so we've covered the main building blocks. But beyond those, you can really start to personalize your policy with optional add-ons. This is how you make sure your coverage truly fits your life, so you're not paying for stuff you don't need, but you're also not leaving any big, scary gaps.
So what kind of things can you add? Well, there's rental reimbursement, a total lifesaver that covers a rental car while yours is getting fixed. There's roadside assistance for those annoying things like a flat tire or locking your keys in the car. For newer cars, gap insurance is often a must-have. And hey, if you've put some money into your ride, custom parts coverage protects those cool aftermarket wheels or that awesome sound system.
Let's zoom in on gap insurance for a second, because this one is important. Imagine you just leased a brand new car in Scottsdale. A few months in, you get into an accident and it's totaled. The insurance company pays out what the car is worth today, but you still owe more than that on your lease. That difference is the gap, and gap insurance is what covers it. It prevents you from being stuck making payments on a car you can't even drive anymore.
Whew. Okay, we have covered a lot of ground, so let's take a breath and bring it all together. We'll do a quick summary and then talk about what you can do next to make sure you've got the right protection in place. So what are the big things to remember from all this? First, a great policy is all about balance. You need liability to protect others, and you need physical damage coverage to protect yourself. Second, you've got to review your limits every year. Life changes, and your insurance needs to change with it. And third, and this is so important, your policy needs to be built for Arizona's unique driving risks.
You know, this quote up on the screen really gets to the heart of what we believe in. It's all about making insurance feel easy, transparent, and reliable. No more of those one-size-fits-all cookie-cutter policies. It's about finding a solution that's right for you.
Really, the absolute best way to know for sure if your coverage is doing its job is to just talk it over with someone who knows the stuff inside and out. If you'd like to chat through your current policy, please feel free to give us a call for a totally free review. The number's right there for you.
Oh, and before we wrap up, let's just quickly tackle a few questions we get all the time. First, is full coverage a real thing? Honestly, no. It's mostly a marketing term. Every policy has specific limits and potential gaps you need to know about. Second, do I really need collision on my old, paid-off car? Well, that depends. You have to weigh the car's value against what you're paying in premiums and your deductible. And finally, is gap insurance always required? Nope, not required, but it is incredibly useful if you owe more on your car than it's currently worth.
Hey, thank you so much for spending a few minutes with us today. We really hope this helped clear up how car insurance works, especially right here in Arizona. For that personalized review, don't hesitate to give us a call. And just a quick reminder, of course, that this has all been for general information. Your specific policy and its terms are what ultimately count. Drive safe out there.